first thing that really drew my attention was the title. So it's such a striking title. Like, was there a particular moment when you realized the two ideas of beauty and darkness perfectly captured what this album's about?
Ah, yeah, I think, well, the working title for the record for a long time was Hidden Things, with track one on the album. Um, but there was something not quite ear-catching enough about that. And then I think thematically, this record is about the modern world and how some parts of it are brilliant and wonderful, and other parts of it are really destructive and scary. And so, yeah, the Kiss and the Abyss, I guess, reflects that. Plus, it rhymes.
You talk about the modern world, and that's something that's really challenging as an artist because you make your music, you release it, but there's also that part where, like, the internet is a way that you can connect with your fans, but it also has its downside. So, how do you balance that as someone that does have an audience?
Yeah, it's really hard. I tend to do it sort of seasonally, so I'll just log off in my downtime, not look at it too much. I have to not look at it too much while The Voice is on TV because everybody's got opinions about that, and they like to let me know their thoughts about who I should have turned for or shouldn't have turned for, and what an idiot I am. So, yeah, it's kind of, and the same thing happened during Eurovision. I just had to, I still wrote my posts and, but I did it all through my manager, which was a savior for my mental health. So yeah, I'm on it now and around the time of the album release, to talk to fans and connect with them. But I can't be on it all the time, otherwise I will go genuinely insane, like for real this time.
Yeah, and burnout's such a thing in the creative industry, so you really got to look after yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a weird, unnatural way to live. And I think, as I get older, I've been doing this for 20 years now. And in a lot of ways, I'm a lot more confident. And I certainly don't give as much of a shit as I used to give, which is beautiful. But at the same time, I'm also highly sensitive to what it takes, to get up there on stage. And my nerves seem to kind of get more and more intense. I get more and more nervous, particularly after COVID. I think that was anyway. So yes, you're right. Burnout, burnout is a thing.
And listening to your music, whether it be this upcoming album or your previous releases, I feel like it sounds like you're always stepping into different characters or perspectives. So, do those voices usually arrive fully formed, or do they slowly reveal themselves as you write your music?
Oh, um, look, I feel I do come from a classical music background, and a theatre background, having studied opera. So for me, music and songwriting is play, and something that I love to do, which I find really playful, is to step into another character and write something from their perspective, because it's such a fucking relief not to be myself all the time. Or just to be a slightly different version of myself, three clicks away from reality. And it's funny how I think a lot of those songs do arrive fully formed because when you step into a different character, you don't have to edit yourself because it's not a reflection on you, the artist. Yeah, never thought about that really, but interesting question.
And one of the feature tracks of this album is Butterflies. And I feel like it's got such an emotional pull to it. So what inspired that song and how do you feel like it fits into the album story?
Oh, oh, thanks. Look, it's a song about, I think I was going through a period of intense change and personal kind of upheaval while I was writing this record. Um, personal growth, some people might call it, and realizing that to um, to move on, I had to discard and basically kill off older parts of myself. Um, so there's a similar lyric in this other song on the record, The Muscle, the only way to be born again is to die. The only way to begin again is to end. And the Butterflies is very much it's about that. It's about changing. It's exactly what it says on the tin, really.
Yeah, it's a celebration of change and also new beginnings. And as you said, you've been in the music game for a long time. So after all your success and achievements, like, is there anything that still gives you butterflies that while releasing a new album?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it does. In fact, as I was saying before, I get butterflies worse and worse, it seems. Like I think I guess I'm just incredibly grateful to have to have made it this far in this quite sort of fickle and ageist industry, and just to still get to make records. It just means so much to me. I think I'm more acutely aware of everything I have to lose because there's no such thing as certainty in this business. And the fact that we got to go over to England and record in Peter Gabriel's studio in this like magical pop-up little kind of gorgeous storybook English village, and it just the recording itself was a beautiful process, and I'm very very excited and a little bit nervous for people to hear it.
I'm excited to hear how it transforms live. And you've got a tour coming up. Are there any songs that you're really excited or maybe even perhaps nervous from the album to perform?
Yeah, we're going to be playing a whole bunch of them for the very first time this Friday. And I know that songs do transform when you play them live, through the ears and the minds of the people in the audience. So that's really exciting and nerve-wracking. Um, we've already played Holiday and Little Ants and Butterflies live a bunch of times, and they all feel really great. And this time around, we're bringing in some of the darker, more theatrical stuff like Isabella Don't and The Muscle. And I think I have a sneaking suspicion that those are going to be really, really fun to play live because they're so dramatic.
We love some good drama. You've also got a song on the album called Holiday. So do you have a favorite unhinged holiday moment that you'll never forget?
Oh God, Unhinged.
Or it can be just one that just
Yeah.
really touched your heart. It doesn't have to be unhinged. It can just be like a moment that you really enjoyed as well. It could be heartfelt.
Well, the uh, it's more the terrible holidays that really stick out in my mind. But yeah, I mean, just recently, I always go to Stradbroke Island on holidays. It's for me, it's paradise. It's a little island off the coast of Brisbane. And yeah, a couple of times ago, I was there with my husband Kier, and we were just in the hot spa, and we had an enormous fight, just like the biggest fight we've ever had. And I realized afterwards it was because of the spa. It was because it was so hot. It was like being in a womb, and it strips away all of your defenses, and you're really, really vulnerable. So just never start a fight in a spa.
I feel like the heat definitely gets you. Like I'm based in Darwin, so it's hot all year round where I am. And you can
Mm.
just see like in the build-up season, everyone's mood around you slowly shifts and changes.
Right. And do people get more impatient?
Yeah, so they call it mango madness up here. When someone's getting like impatient, you're like, oh, they've got a serious case of mango madness going on.
I love that. I love that. Okay. Well, I think it's true.
You touched earlier a bit on ageism in the music industry, and like through the voice, you dedicate a lot of time to mentoring other artists. So has that changed the way that you approach your own career in terms of like the mentorship and advice you give to other people?
Huh. I think that that can happen. Like you can actually learn your own lessons by teaching them to someone else, for sure. I guess I really cherish that part of the voice, getting to work with singers and mentor them because I do see myself as a young artist in them, and it's such a hard industry to get into, and it's so weird. It's unlike any other kind of profession, and I do feel very protective of these young artists. And yeah, maybe through that process, I kind of forgiven my younger self a bit more for being so green. It's easy to, as an artist to reflect back on all the mistakes you made when you were when you were younger, but I tried my best. Everyone's just trying their best.
Yeah, forgiveness is so important. And in saying that, like, what's the main message that you hope people take away after listening to this upcoming album?
Um, I just hope that they will be moved and surprised in some way. Um, I think this is the most artistically ambitious record I've ever made. Um, it's I am at a point in my life where I'm making music for me. I'm making stuff that I love and not trying to second guess what might be appealing to any particular audience. And that's a really liberating thing for me. And I think that does come across in the sound of the record. Like it's a beautiful, big, organic, warm, full of wooden instruments. In some ways, it sounds quite sort of ancient. There's this sort of medieval folky tinge to a lot of it, um, but with this modern spin on it in terms of the subject material. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know how people are going to react to it because it's very different to my previous record and any other record that I've done. But I'm proud of it and I hope they like it.
Yeah, I'm excited for everyone to hear it. It kind of feels like, I don't know, when I listen to it, it kind of feels like a warm hug. I don't know if that explains it well, but just like it's comforting, is what I'm trying
Oh,
to
that's
say.
good. Okay, great. Great, because there are like really sort of dark theatrical moments on there, but I agree. There's also a lot of warmth and humor in the record.